Hi, Robert. Okay, this is the continuation of the last video. I went through the list, and I just started down here at the paragraphs that you had below that, and I kind of stopped because you never know when the thing's going to fail, and I don't want to redo 50 minutes. So we're going on. Okay, so you generally wake up between 6 and 10 a.m. We already addressed that. That's setting the precedent each day of you not having any discipline. That's setting the precedent of however you feel, determining it, and you're going to feel when you're already lost, you're already confused, you're already not connected to a total sense of purpose, higher level thinking. You're already not capable of guiding yourself 100% like you could if you were the master of all things in your life. So the first thing you have to take control of is that, the 6 to 10 a.m. thing. It doesn't matter when you wake up, but it needs to be the same time. It needs to be able to be counted on. Um, Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, we don't live on the farm anymore. What we can do could work all night long, but the concept still works. You want to be when the world's moving, when you've got your energy, you want to go at it full blast. So if you wake up at 7, even if you wake up at 8, even if you wake up at 9, it doesn't matter because you're going to be counting on that every single day. Now, you know the ebb and flow of your life. You know the ebb and flow of your neighborhood. You know the ebb and flow of your friends, your family, uh, everything about your environment. I would choose your time to wake up to get a little jump start on that. I would say probably the earlier the better because you want to start off running. You want to get ahead of the ebb and flow, not let the ebb and flow get ahead of you. So choose your time and stick to it, even on the weekends, because that's going to put everything else in line. That's got to be at the top of your list. Start off every day with a shower. Start off every day taking care of your basic needs. I know I mentioned the suggestion of doing your cleaning while you're waiting for the food to arrive. But you might want to do some cleaning in other sections during the day, and another section for some cleaning or organization might be the morning before you get started. Because when you put your hand on something, when you get involved in maybe some tail ends of a project you're working on the day before, or whatever, for one thing that it does is it actually, you've heard a body in motion tends to stay in motion, a body at rest tends to stay at rest. If you put yourself into a busy work task right off the bat, like mopping the floor or doing something like that, what'll happen is you'll be moving around. And by moving around, you'll prepare yourself to stay in motion easier. So it's actually a good idea to use a cleaning task or a chore that takes a while to do and a lot of movement of your body for a short period of time in the morning. To do this each day will help you get further ahead so that later in the day when you have less energy you won't have as much to do because you've already accomplished some of what you wanted to do already. Plus, utilizing the doing of it will help your body be ready for the next task. Sort of like warming up when you go to work out. You're going to warm up first, then you're going to go into the harder things. Use a cleaning, basic, mundane chore to make your body move around your environment. Once your blood pressure's going, be thinking about why you're doing it. What are you going to be doing next? And then it's going to be easier to do the next thing. I would go on to another invigorous task. I wouldn't sit down to paint. I would go out perhaps and exercise or do something productive that requires energy next. If you can try to set things aside that require energy. I was in Plymouth this summer talking to a woodworker. And there was just one guy there at the Plymouth plantation. They've been in business for 45 years, showing what the Pilgrims did and living like them. And this is one guy that's been there almost his whole woodworking career, doing every single thing from cutting the tree down to putting the fine detail on the furniture and the stain and just everything. And I'm thinking, this is just great. This is absolutely a master. All the way from selecting the tree, chopping it down, splitting the wood, everything. I said, this is a guy I got to talk to. Because in his arena, he has accomplished everything. He is his own single person. No one even to help him, not even an apprentice. And I said, how do you bring yourself to do all this? What is your plan? What is your secret? What is your means? And he said exactly what I'm saying to you. He gets up, he does something to work in towards some of his heavier duty stuff. He breaks up and compartmentalizes his day, knowing what he has to do. He starts off with a job that's a busy work job to get his blood flowing. Then, early in the morning when it's cooler and he has lots of energy, he'll do his heaviest duty work. Chopping the wood, splitting the logs, planing the logs, preparing the materials. As soon as he's done, he might not ever be done, but as soon as he says, I'm starting to get tired now, you don't quit. You don't go sit and look at the internet. You don't, do whatever you want to do. You say, okay, I'm the master of my own destiny. I have quit planing for the day. I have quit chopping for the day. I have quit large, bulky material work for the day after I got warmed up to do so, and I did it efficiently for a period of time that my body and my age and my strength will allow for. It has allowed me to continue to take that strength and apply it to my next day's activities because I flex my muscles and work them out. But now, since I'm the master, I decide, what am I going to do next? Well, I feel like doing this activity. I have several projects going at once. This project needs this. This project needs this. This one's still setting up and gluing from what I did yesterday. This one needs some intricate work. I'm not sure after chopping wood I'm ready to do intricate carving work. That takes artistry and concentration and focus. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'll pick from all the different things that I've got lined up what would be best suited for what I feel like right now that I would be good at. I leave my hard work behind in the morning. I work on to something that is going to be more amenable to what I'd be good at right now. That's how you choose your tasks. That's what you do. When you're chopping the wood, you think, what do I feel like I'm going to want to do after this? Oh man, my muscles are sore. I really accomplished a lot. I'll come back to this tomorrow, and I'll have more renewed energy and strength for my muscles being used today, and I'll continue with it. But right now, since I'm my own person, my own master, and I do everything needed to be done, what will I do next? Be flexible. Don't be rigid. Don't think you've got to lock this down. Every day could be different. Your reward, rather than your stress, you're indicating right now you're stressed when you think, what am I going to do next? Your reward could be your ability to do whatever you want at any time, knowing that once you are on the path to higher meaning and purpose, your choices will always be the right choices. It doesn't matter what they are, because you'll understand why they need to be made. And once you understand why they need to be made, you can come to have more freedom to be who you want and do what you want. That's what being the master is. That's what being the leader is. That's what being everything you need to be is. And I didn't talk to him about his life purpose, but I would bet if I continued to talk to him that he had a good high life purpose. Because how do you get so structured to have that much wisdom with what you do and who you are and how you operate without having a higher life purpose? You could say, well, he just is a good organizer. He just loves working with the medium. Yeah, could be. I'd have to place myself inside him. I couldn't just ask him the question, just go on that at face value. So I'm not going to bother. I don't want to get the wrong idea about things. Remember what I talked about, once you know yourself, once you know what you're working with, you'll know what's going on across the globe because they're dealing with the same things even if you're not watching the news. I know what he's dealing with because I saw what it took for him to get to that point. And I know that you're going to get to the same point. So when you get up, do yourself some busy work. You get some of the hard stuff out of the way first. And then as each day you come to learn on this list what's more priority, you go to the thing that you think would be best served by your usage of your time and energies next. What you're trained to do. What you are going to be best at doing next. And you'll do that every day. And you'll always make the right decision if your things, for your perspective, your total perspective, is following a higher intelligence. If you just give in to what your weakened mind and your weakened body tell you to do, you will just start making the wrong choices. And before you know it, you'll be totally off track again and lulled into just an existence, which is what you're living now with just a few perks. You don't want to be just living in existence. You want to understand why at all times. You want to understand the wholeness at all times. So your sleep has been erratic. That will go away. Staying up all night, that will go away. You will gain more satisfaction more schedule, less stress. You will get over your indecision and your concern of not knowing how to make the right decision. You will get over, oh boy, did I do the wrong thing here? Oh, I'm going down a never-ending spiral. You won't be thinking about things like this. You'll be getting positive momentum going every single day. And those things through time will dissipate. But I say to you, even as they're dissipating, they're still going to dissipate very quickly by not having the naps, not having the waking up whenever you want, doing some heavy-duty work in the morning so you know your body has been used, doing increased exercise so you know your body has worked those legs on the bicycle or walking. If you can exercise your body, do some heavy-duty work every single day, be the master of the way you lay things out every single day, put yourself to bed at a reasonable time and get up at the same time every single day with no naps, your body will reciprocate by sleeping because it will need it. You do need to continue to work on preparing your mind so that the mind does not thwart the body from gaining what it needs. But that will come. That will be a skill that you can learn. Okay. Don't stay in bed in the morning. Don't nap. You fill up your day with internet and TV. Good distraction. Nope. We talked about that in the last video even. But I had to cut it off, so we're covering a little bit of this again. My days are one big, long, unstructured, unplanned day. If it's that big and that long, then you've got all the time you need, don't you? So what you got to do is you got to take out the things that you don't need, that aren't productive, and put in the things you do need, that are productive and will aid you in being more productive tomorrow, even without a greater life purpose. If you did just what that woodworker did and banged out some of your heavy stuff right in the morning, and you told yourself every single day when you're at your best, at your strongest, and you could bang out your heavy stuff, or do some mundane cleaning tasks to get worked up towards that heavy stuff, even if you didn't have a higher purpose, you would have already had 2 pluses right from the moment that you had, well, 3 pluses. The first plus is you got up on time. 4 pluses, you probably had a good night's sleep from the day before. But your third plus is you got yourself worked up right off the bat doing something that got something out of the way that needed to be done, like a mundane cleaning task, which leaves you less to do later when you're tired, and that got you ready to do the heavier work. Heavier work is major productivity of some kind that you could only do when you have the energy. So you're already doing that right off the bat. That's going to again aid you when you add your exercise to it and you're eating properly and you're dropping of your worry and all the different things. It's going to aid your body in needing the sleep later by not giving it the aid of the little naps and respites and sitting on your butt and not doing something that could be an activity. Your body will require you to give it what it needs, which is rest. And that will start coming as a welcome gift when you reward yourself with that. That will be one of your rewards, and you'll be glad to have it. And you'll see things start getting back into the groove and the schedule not being erratic. You'll see that one discipline aid all the rest of the list. The Boxy Gym is a 15-minute walk from our house. It's great that you have places to walk. You're already better off just because of that. Art classes on Tuesday evenings from 7 to 10. I'm sure you enjoy that. And you ride it on the subway. Okay, 45 minutes during the subway. I'm wondering if on the days when you have the art class, if you can't use that subway, if it's going to New York or something like that, to make that a big day where you completely go cold turkey with everything else and spend the entire day wherever you're going to be by this subway ride and do so many other things that it's almost like a respite from your regular routine. I'm just wondering that because I have to wonder it because I don't know where you'd be. I don't know what you'd be doing. I don't know if your life can allow you to be gone for that period of time. I don't know if you want to do that. But 45 minutes away, you're going to do it anyway. Use that 45 minutes away as a benefit to you, as an option to you, and expound on that area. I don't know if you can take bicycles with you on the subway, but if the subway allow you to take bicycles, you'd have your bicycle in a place you're not used to having your bicycle. Maybe if it was in New York, you could go over to those paths on the western side, and you can really meditate there because there's not much to worry about once you're on that bike path, except if someone gets in your way, so watch out for that. But other than that, you're safe from traffic. That would give you a chance to bike ride somewhere else, a long distance. You come home, had a good art class in you, had a good day out away from your regular affairs. You come home, you're ready to sleep. satisfied. That'd be a good thing to do. I don't think I've ever seen anybody on the subway with a bike, so it probably isn't doable. So forget I said it, but just a thought. Okay, everything you need to do is within walking distance. Cinema, grocery store, clothing stores, restaurants, hardware stores, Barnes & Noble, etc. That's great. Walk. No brainer. You probably don't have a car anyway, right? Most people that live in New York don't have a car. Yeah, walking's great. Do the walking all you can. Yeah, let's see. You also said good neighborhood for jogging. That's wonderful. If you can jog, well, heck, that's great. Practice the touch the wall thing. When you go out jogging, know exactly where you're going to jog, how far you're going to jog, and don't stop jogging until you've done it. Do the touch the wall we talked about the other day. Same thing with a bike. It'd be a farther wall, but before you get started, if you say, I'm only going to ride a bike right now, that's what my purpose is right now, do that. Say, I'm not going to stop riding the bike till I've done this. And then, by golly, go home and order some of that good food you want. Maybe a little bit less of it than you are now, but say, I deserved it. And while you're waiting for the food, of course, then you're doing your other productivity or organizing or cleaning or other tasks that need to be done around the home. So, and then I don't see it right now, but you like to pass the time and look for ways to kill it instead of being actively participating. Even video games, to a very limited extent, very small, is interactive as opposed to television. And even message boards, I do use message boards some, but I always talk in a profound way. I always try to reach people in a profound way. I don't just go there and like banter and chatter. There's enough trivial junk that gets spoken to you on a daily basis that you have to answer to without going and seeking it out. Also, I don't know what you're talking to your friend on the phone for half an hour a day. Hopefully he's a supportive mechanism. If he's an enabler in any way, or like you, are contributing to taking time away from you, I'm not going to say this means he's a bad person or anything, but he needs to be kept at bay, or she, or whoever, because like let's say you get a little bit of I don't talk on the phone, but I would imagine if you talk on the phone a half an hour a day, you're getting some kind of support mechanism that you want. If nothing more, it's a distraction that blows another half an hour of your day. If that's what you're using it for, and this friend is not motivating you in a way that you would motivate yourself or that I would motivate you, I'm not going to say he's not a friend. I'm just saying he's not useful to you in that capacity. Allow his time with you on the phone to be cut short. Use that half hour for something else. If you want to get together with him, suggest, look, I'll get together with you. We'll spend all the time we would have spent talking. What we're going to do, you're going to be welcome into my world. You're going to be doing something that would be productive because I've got to, and you're going to do it while you're talking to me. So if you really like talking to me and you're really my friend, you're going to do something productive with me because I'm going to share with you what I'm working on. This is why I need to be productive and talk to you less on the phone, but I will still talk to you because you're my friend, but you're going to be productive with me. We're going to do it together. So that's what I would do about the phone call thing. I don't know if that applies because, of course, you haven't given me enough information to really know how it is. But I think I'm talking generically enough to you in all these videos that you can see tidbits of things that could be worked for the specific applications that you have that may be a little different than I might have imagined them as. There's thousands of different ways that I can imagine what you're telling me would actually play itself out. I'm trying to talk generically enough so that what I talk to you about, you can take and do the twisting and the working and making it so it fits the final way that you're going to use it. And I know you can do that. So, boxing gym. You mentioned martial arts. Now you call it a boxing gym. That's a good dedication to learn martial arts. I mean, Bruce Lee, man. You want to read something? Read his book. That's good stuff. I can't imagine that if you're boxing and you're hitting the heavy bag over and over again, that you're not getting a lot of great workout but calorie burning. The only way that you could possibly have a weight problem with all the walking, all the bike riding, and all the boxing and things like that you must be doing. Maybe you're talking about it like you want to do it and you're not doing it enough. But if you are truly doing these things, or if you start to do it, your calorie problem's going to go away. Man, you're going to lose weight. Even if you just kept eating the food that you're eating, but you did these things, you'd lose weight. You'd get in shape. I'm suggesting you take the calorie-laden foods down and focus more on them while you're eating them so that you're still enjoying them, not depriving yourself, but look at them as a reward, making sure that you did something in order to be justified in that reward. But if you take that calorie down and you bring up these other levels, you're going to automatically be helped with the weight issue or the strength issue. You look like you're carrying your weight well. I can only see from your face up. I can't see your body. But you look like you're the size and proportion that you are. You're still going to get healthier, and you're still going to work past the weight issue, or it's going to come even in more favorable control than it is. But upping the exercise and the productivity. And you know, mental energy burns things too. I'm a drummer, and if I'm in the car tapping my foot or doing anything, even that is usage of some calories. It's not stagnant. Okay. I like your list, and I'm going to go ahead and you got a little bit more here on the paragraph, so let's go on. Yeah, we already covered the 30 minutes with the friends. It's great that you have friends. I wonder what your friends are like. Do they have any of the issues that you have? Do they see the issues that you have? Do they support you with the issues that you have? Do they contribute to the issues that you have? Consider those things. Don't shut off a friend, but utilize the friend in a different way if they're contributing or being an enabler to your problems. Explain to them why you're going to make some changes and you'd like to involve them. Like I said with talking while walking or talking while doing something instead of on the phone. Explain why that's one of the... You mentioned that you were on the 12-step program. Tell them that's one of your own steps you're going to make. I'm going to take my phone privileges away. I'm going to utilize some productivity during that time. Maybe it's going to be a new hobby. Maybe it won't all be walking. Maybe in your walking and your travels, you'll find new things. Maybe with all the activities going on, you'll get involved in another thing, another program that takes no effort as far as mental choices like martial arts does. What am I going to study? How am I going to learn those moves? Maybe you'll play soccer or basketball. I think you used basketball as an example earlier, but I don't know if you actually said you played basketball. Basketball is a perfectly good way to burn calories. Say, friend, come with me. We're going to get together with these guys. Or maybe we won't get together with guys. Maybe you and I'll just shoot the basket to ourselves. We'll spend the time talking on the phone, walking to where we're going. We'll have community and exercise while we're there. You have to understand I got to do this for myself, and I want to help you too. And then we'll talk on the way back. I'm going to do that from now on instead of the old way we used to relate. Or maybe several times a week we'll do that. And we'll still relate the old way, but less of it. Because you see, friend, I love talking with you, but you have become something that has helped me to enable my problems and stretch my day out. And I appreciate you being there for me, but the capacity that we're currently there for each other in isn't aiding. So I'm going to change it just a little bit until it aids. And if you're truly my friend, you'll understand my needs and you'll be there for me. And you'll probably even support me. So that's the way I would address the friends. Alright, I'd like to read more and I'd like to draw more in a few months. I'd like to teach art at an after-school program, but I need to get more into responsible, regular routine for that. Yes, you do. And of course, there's responsibilities for that too, but, you know, as an art teacher, of all teachers, you have much more flexibility in the way you approach that, and I'm sure you could do it without stress. So if you'd like to do that and it's really something you're going to do, then do it. And more power to you. Go ahead and help others to become all they can be. That's a wonderful sense for satisfaction. And as you sure learn in martial arts, when you train another person, you learn the very things that you already know, even better, because you're looking at it from a different point of view. And so training a person to draw will help you to learn to draw even better and understand your artistic concepts even better when you start to explain them with another person. You're actually not the recipient, but you're the outputter, and that's going to help you. Believe it or not, it will help. And so that's a good thing for you to do if you're encouraged to do it. If you keep piling all these things on your plate and it's too much for you, though, it could be a problem. You could start thinking, gee whiz, my life was better before I ever started considering all these things and talking to Paul, because now I got so much to do, I'm more stressed than ever. I'm giving you all these things. I don't expect you to do all of them. The first thing you have to do is take a shower every day, at least twice, and get up at a reasonable time. Okay, if you want to go to the short list, that's it. Put drawing way higher on the list, exercise way higher on the list, waiting for your food to arrive while you're doing something productive higher on the list, doing a thing in the morning that gets your blood circulating, and then going to the big activities higher on your list, getting some cleaning out of the way in the morning so that there's less to do later when you're lower on energy, higher on your list, and walking away from the sedentary activities. Okay? I know that still sounds like a lot of lists, but what you do is, if you can't do all of it, work on the higher on the lists. Push the other ones down. When you get better at the higher ones on the list, then the other ones that had to be pushed down, suppressed temporarily, will start to rise of their own accord. Because you'll start to develop the higher ones. You'll start to have that'll intrinsically fall and trickle down through the whole thing, and the other ones will start to rise. As you start to become more efficient, that will automatically occur. So trust the sleep thing. Trust the no napping. Trust the good exercise and food. Trust the hygiene. Trust the going away from sedentary activities and transferring to the non-sedentary activities. These will make all the things and all the other choices come to more clarity for you, and you'll have more energy for it, and your day will be more structured in order to make it happen properly. But again, back to the major life purpose. That will make the why for you so much more pronounced. And you'll be working on the higher purpose every day of your life. Don't spend another day where you don't think about that higher purpose. That's the thing that motivates the reason for it all. Otherwise, it's all worthless and it doesn't make any sense. Don't live a life like that. Even if God didn't exist, you have got to find a way to see your ultimate purpose, what you're capable of, even if you don't attribute it to something beyond yourself. If you can't do that, you've failed, even if God didn't exist. So do better. See that ultimate purpose as something you have got to pursue, even if you're not capable right now of fathoming what a God would be like. You've got to pursue that regardless. One day you may come to attribute it to God. One day you may be able to see how God would have wanted that from His creation. That would be great, but you've got to do it regardless. You order too much food from restaurants at home, and it's the wrong food and costs too much. All right, make an adjustment. Go ahead and do a little more cooking. Order a little less food. Even if it's the wrong food, order a little less food. If you get more productive, you might find more ways to make money too. And that's another thing to think about. Could you find an income potential that requires energy expenditure that gives you extra spending cash? Maybe you get paid minimum wage, hardly anything, but you are not officially a big brother, but a big brother type, or work with a program that requires you, like a soccer coach or something like that, to be moving while you're being paid. What that does is two things. It gives you money and the exercise or the movement. Well, it does three things. It takes you away from whatever other sedentary activity you were going to be doing otherwise. So it does three things. So taking a job that's no-brainer job, that could be fun, could give you something to do, could give you extra spending cash to buy the food, use the time you would have spent cooking and buy more food. You like it anyway. Eat less of it. Keep ordering it. Make the money for keeping ordering it by doing extra activities with all your free time that actually pay, that support a worthy cause, like helping a group do something that they need some supervision on. Okay? Okay. That's just a thought. It doesn't need to be done. It's just a thought. Okay. Do a pretty good job with the cleaning. Okay. About a big project, cleaning project, I either want to take a week to finish or break it up and work on it an hour, a couple of days. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, use a little bit of that big project in a mundane way to get your blood flowing in the morning. Or if it's really heavy duty, let that be your heavy duty work after your blood's flowing. Do a certain portion of it each day until you say, oh, I'm tired now. Then do the easier stuff. Do it that way. It's a good way to do it. Say, if I do this hard stuff now, I promise myself the rest of my day will have not leisure, but easier stuff. It's a good reward. Easier productivity is a good reward for harder productivity. It's hard to believe that productivity can be a reward for productivity, but it can. It's all a matter of perspective and balance. Easier productivity can be a reward for harder productivity because you get satisfaction from both. But you can't do hard productivity constantly, so when you get a need for more satisfaction later on, you got the satisfaction you're resting on from the hard productivity earlier, and now you're getting the satisfaction from the easier productivity. Your satisfaction is building, your productivity continues, and everything that was drawing you away from that is no longer. You have suppressed that, those energy wasting things, those I don't want to say energy wasting things, because you're not spending energy on the internet. In fact, you're not spending enough energy. That's why you're not sleeping. Okay, so that is most everything I can think of. I don't want to fall in the trap of doing too much too soon, so don't do it. Go for those high priority things and let those bring the other things up. Everything on the list may not start at once. Fine. Sleep first. Shower second. Some major take the bull by the horns thing in the morning. 1, 2, 3. You have the other ones down there. My weekdays have no schedule at all besides the Tuesday night art class. You don't have to do a thing. Gosh, that could be... Benjamin Franklin said, no society has ever overcome in the history of mankind the ills that we're currently faced with. Greater leisure and time. Luxury is more ruthless than war. The fact that you don't have to do anything is your greatest enemy. Especially if you don't have a greater understanding of life purpose and meaning. Ultimate purpose. You're being raked over the coals by your leisure. You're being chewed up and spit out by the boring, mundane facts of life. You've got to get past that. The weekdays have no schedule at all besides Tuesday night. Well, it has a schedule now. You're going to get up at the same time every single day. That's up to you. That's your first hint of a schedule. You're not going to nap. That's your second hint of a schedule. You're going to do something major in the morning that contributes to not having to do it later on. That's your third major schedule. You're going to increase your exercise and your activity over your inactivity things. That's your fourth. And so on. Do it as you can. The firsts will help the seconds. The seconds and the firsts will help the thirds. The firsts and seconds and thirds will help the fourths, and so on. You do some things with dads on the weekends. That's great. Like to watch sports, play poker. Get him involved in some of the things that you're talking about. These new experiences that we're talking about together that you're going to be working at. Let him know what you're going to be going through and what you're going to be trying. And maybe, if he's the kind of man that cares and is capable, he'll encourage and support rather than discourage and ignore. That can be helpful too. He will respect, hopefully, your new schedules. He will respect when you say something, hopefully, because he knows what you're striving at. Once you can tell him the greater purpose, he will respect it. You need him to do that. I hope he's the man that can. Add more art classes in the future. That's the goal. After school program. So, the next 3 months are preparing for the future. Well, you've got a lot to do to prepare, and you're on a good start. I know you'll do well. Kudos for wanting to do it. Kudos to you for knowing you need to. Kudos for having the sensibilities and the concern to see enough to ask and have the driving desire to do something. That is so far above so many people already that even though you're not where you want to be, you have so much that's essential. Awesome. Okay, now, unless you have a lot of questions, you can think about these things for a while and then get back with me. All right, or just keep on going. We'll just relate at whatever speed you'd like to. Talk to you soon. Bye.